Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Norgon 111, and welcome back to Blueprints. It occurs to me in the previous episode we learned that Rinna was the third paragon in the natural order, and they're listed here where Rinna is third. And so I wonder if there's another order we can pull them in the tomb and something will happen. So I should try pulling them in this order rather than the order that they were listed in the chapel. So I definitely want to try that the next time I draft the tomb. I also came up with a few other ideas of orders that we could use that might make sense. For example, Dauja is last day. Saturn is kind of like the planet that's also named after it, and that's like Saturday, and so like they could be like days of the week or something. But I'm still going through taking a look at the document under the magnifying glass, because every time I don't look carefully under the magnifying glass, there's always something. Yeah, I hope that in due time and in the natural order of things, which is bolded, natural order of things, the things being the statues. And then so while we're at it, red prints and a new clue are in italics. But that's kind of to be expected. On this page is in italics. Timely manner is spelled M-A-N-O-R and not M-A-N-N-E-R, which is a pun that I think I've called out before. When it will be removed from Mount Holly's draft pool is in italics. Like, there's a lot of fonts in here. Some of them kind of just make sense. And then on the first page, of me is in italics. So I just want to call them out aloud in case it helps me think of something. I was also looking at the magnifying glass. I don't think it's actually anything, but up at the very top right, could almost be like a numeral 2 or a 12 or something there. But it also could just be like old paper. But yeah, I definitely want to try another order of the statues in the tomb, and I'm pretty sure I've been over this already. Something I hadn't paid attention to, though. The T here is underlined. The O is underlined there. Yeah, let me just see. I guess I can probably see those without the magnifying glass, but I'll go over it with the magnifying glass. So there's an O, there's a T. What else is underlined? An S. OTS. Like, I can't imagine why Denny would encode something. But anything is possible. Okay, I don't think that was anything. And if I do italics, this room as have let Y, possibly the N, 2. Yeah, I don't think so. Is there anything else that I can inspect with the magnifying glass here? There's this. It's like a little edge cut out of the moon on the right-hand side. The doors, I think, just look like doors. Possibly something on the word last door there, but I think it's just a smudge on the paper. Anything else I could use the magnifying glass on in here? This is a bookend. It's in the nook in the Mount Holly 3 triangles thing, along with some other things, and I wasn't sure what it was. It's a bookend. I might have seen it elsewhere. I might have even noticed it here and forgotten about it. There are not many telephones in the estate. I think there's one in the drawing room as well. This one's very old-fashioned. And I think I talked about it before. The wagon is found in the attic. The rose is found on one of the tombs, and then the apples can be found lots of places. But they're all red. Well, the next day I got some dice pretty early on. So let's see if we can draft the tomb. Oh, it just came up. Nice. Okay, so I should pull up the will and take a look at the order. So the first one listed is Arinda, which is the Crown Scepter 1, which I think is over here. Yeah. So I'll pull you first. Then Lydia is the ball cap riding crop kind of one. And I don't remember where that one might be located. Here it is, it's this one. Okay, the next on the list is Rinna, who has the hoe, who is here. Then we have Joya, the pizza chef, who is over here. Then we have Douja, the cowboy pitchfork, who is somewhere. Here we go. Then we have Vea, the top hat duster one, which is not you. You. Yeah. Then we have Mila, the maid hat broom one. You. And then I think that just leaves Draxus. Correct. So let's go find Draxus. And hopefully pulling him will do something new and different. I'm thinking maybe open something over here, but who knows? Alright, here goes nothing. Yeah, it opened something behind him. Okay. It's like the thing on the Cloister of Draxus. Oh, these are in the will. It said the original copies. I don't have a magnifying glass yet, do it? No, I do. Nice. The original copies of a Red Prince and a new clue. Oh wow, original copies of a new clue. That's nutso. The Red Prince. Alright. And it's in Mary's handwriting. And interestingly, there's no blue lines on the page when I use the magnifying glass. That might be an oversight, or that might be meaningful. Once there was a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown of rubies and a red castle made of stone. All right. That's the prince. He's holding something, like a scepter in his right arm, but what's that in his left? I'm not sure right now. It could possibly even be, and there's the two candles next to him. It could possibly even be, like the, Blackbridge story, like the effigy that was in the treasure box or something. Okay. The prince had a love for all things red. Not everything. It's the only true color, the prince often said. Okay, so far the story is the same. The pentagon here for Fen-Ares. I don't know that that was in the original thing, but the other objects, I think, were. The stop sign might also not have been there in the drawing. I'm going to have to do my own comparison. Interesting. He could not stand the sight of a canary or crow, and so it shows the colors of the various respective realms. He could not stand the white of a swan in the snow. So we've got Arcturus and Orinda and Morjai and their respective colors. And the illustration seems pretty similar. Okay, great. And he never looked up for fear of the view. He had heard that the sky was not a red hue. Look at this little swirly thing. We've witnessed that same little swirly thing as one of the flourishes. Don't know that it's like under the notepad in the mailroom, but somewhere. And here he's walking away from a castle that's... I don't remember if he was walking away from a castle like that in the actual storybook or not. He didn't see the birds or the changing of the leaves, and he never saw the sights of life's many symphonies. Okay, so this is the unedited version. This is the one that we only heard in the Once I First Reached 46 credits ending. So this is definitely different. There's the bird. There's another bird. There's another bird. So many birds. He couldn't see beyond the red shade he was aware. He never caught a glimpse of the world I had to share. Oh, interesting. A caged bird. A showy bird. Presumably that's Marigold. Of the world I had to share. That looks like Saturn Dowager. Figured prominently. Alright. So that's interesting. Not sure quite what to make of that yet. But one day the prince saw something new. And if you look closely, you might see it too. That looks like a butterfly in the color blue. Why a butterfly? I don't know. It's doing a little swirly pattern as it flies up like butterflies do. The skies parted and the clouds withdrew. The prince had a new favorite color. It's weird, it almost looks yellow. The way the clouds are under the magnifying glass. The color blue. All right. So that is the first edition of the blueprints. I think it's just a stray mark down there. It's not anything. Neat. Draxus is here with the infinity symbol because he is number 8. It does look like Cloister of Draxus. He's holding the effigy thing again, I think, in his hand. Okay, that's interesting. I had not noticed that before. On my Cloister of Draxus, is he also doing that? If I go to the room directory, that would be... it's actually the Cloister. Yeah. He is holding it there, but it's not nearly as visible. And so I want to look at that once more. It's got like a squarish head, and then like a wing or a shoulder thingy or something, or like a totem arm, and that's kind of lumpy. And if I compare that to what Draxus is holding, I think it looks similar. Okay. And then we've got a new clue. I presume the cover is blank. A new clue. Okay, once again, one of these little flourish things. So, early draft. All he needed was to find a new clue, circled in blue. Cook. Made. Route instead, platform 8. I see, to obscure the meaning very slightly. How many memos should be visible? Yeah, good question. Why are the cook and the maid important here? If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. If he knew what to do, he'd likely find 2. Instead, it became tell you. For you looking for a new clue too. It was originally 4 clues come together like a pair of new shoes. Okay, so originally it was hinting that there were two clues or pairs of clues, cook and maid. Also, the blue ink that she's using here, when we were in the root cellar, sign was underlined also in this blue ink, and this is the only other place I think we've seen the blue ink before now. So this is very interesting. He had retraced his sketches and studied the files, rewritten his theories, and gone through the piles. This is a little bit different. Of all the evidence shown to God only known, but it became nobody known, and retrace his steps as it stretched on for miles. Dead herrings, dead cases became the dead end cases. But herrings does suggest that they're not important, at least for here. Here's the medium gate. Wow. Corner cases. Double check with Kirk about documents. Kirk Darren. Depart rather than departures. Right, because it wanted to be suspect list needed, will add, and final illustration. Right. Okay. I'm not sure if this is just going to be redundant cluing or if there's going to be new clues in this new clue. And then, okay, here's another place to learn. Basically, here's all the little superscript numbers. I'd look high and low in all the rooms. He'd search every corner in all the tombs. For, in this case, he had, instead of searched, it became checked, because it's going to be checked on the checked corner cases. Every space became circled. Not sure why. If he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. Okay, so mostly that was the same. Note to publisher, insert small case numbers, barely visible, between the marked words above. Swap the king with the rook. Yes, castling. Oh, right. It was the rook in a giant tower on this photo, and they got swapped. So this is, okay, just cluing in more about castling. Oh, and there's actually letters in here. Correct letters. Those letters are all correct out of part of the castle clue. Too much overlap with clue in the secret passage. Okay, so that's hinting that the clue is on the back door of the secret passage. Too obvious? He looked and he looked under beds and in nooks. Interesting, yeah, that's changed, I believe. And what is this X? Under beds. There's an X under beds. That might be the first one that is setting off alarm bells for me that I might need to look at. He questioned the maid, he questioned the cooks. It was already over when he spoke to the chauffeur, who told him new clues were found only in books. So that has not changed. The Tanner fork. Replace fork with something connected to 10. And so that just might be on the map because she needed the 10th page of the book or whatever. And so she had to incorporate the dead end. Oh, there's a fork here. Replace fork with something connected to 10. I don't remember what's in the book here on the table. Okay, that's another thing I need to look at. Connected to 10. All right, I'll have to take a look at that. Cuckoo 2. Yeah, I was wondering about this. Okay, so it's not just the pun that I thought. It was actually 2 cuckoo clocks. And tome after tome the library loaned. Before it was and, it was so. And so the first word somehow became important. That's worrisome. That's a small change to make for a non-obvious reason. And the books that he had that he already owned, this is also changed. It's the library loaned. We're searched from the covers all the way through. Colors. Yeah, the colors of the covers, right. We had to get the colors of these. If you found a new clue, we'd know what to do. A new clue, Uncle Aw. Yeah, that's another anagram cluing kind of thing. I've tried anagramming a lot of names. Most have not panned out yet. But I have been trying it. He changed all the letters in the lines that he found. He checked all the colors for each key that he wound. He doubled the meaning of each seasonal greeting and found that the diction of each word was sound. The last 2 lines are the same. The first 2 are not. Lines is in ranks or lines is in spines. Okay, so yeah. Spines the books. Lines is in ranks. That's interesting. I'll have to think about that. He checked all the colors for each key that he wound. A nod to my uncle's parlor game. Wound. I see. Key wound. Okay. Meaning of each seasonal greeting. As my mother used to call me, yes. Merry Christmas. Unending homophones. Each word was sound. Found that the diction of each word was sound. I still am going to try using the pick sound amplifier. I have like a long list of things I want to try it on. I feel like there are going to be sounds. Because it seems like that thing is not enough. So in any case, this is pretty much the same. Dead end. Oh, denoted in verse was here and got removed. So that got moved to the music room. And it had been on the chalkboard as one of his notes. Interesting. Entrance hall where you get the microchip. It's interesting that the color text kind of floats in a different plane than the book itself, and so like the magnifying glass is doing interesting parallax in a way that could not really happen. Oh wow, look, the moon was here. Hovering. He stayed up all night and studied the maps. He laid out the floor plans and measured the gaps. And if his directory was a trajectory, it was nothing short of a mental lapse. And his directory was a trajectory, nothing short of a mental lapse. And again, like inserting words in a worrisome fashion. From what I was told, I believe Margle's directory, so Bon Margle was the detective, is currently 22 rooms short of completion. No cause for concern yet, as Uncle has thankfully removed Pump Room from the draft pool. Ah, okay. So he would not be able to change the water levels and get into the reservoir. Okay. And 22 rooms short. There were 110 rooms. So Bon Margle would have only had 88. 88. 8 and 8. 8 is a very special number in this game. Did I magnify all the illustration over here? I don't think there's anything else to see. Okay. A man obsessed in Cuckoo 2, there's Cuckoo 2, they would say as he would wander through, the best medicine is not yet evident became evidence. Win became if he found a new clue, he'd know what to do. Each pretty much looks all the same. Okay. And having read this over so many times, just became having read this so many times, having scoured over each of the lines, have you exhausted your search? Have you seen all the signs? One per page, yes. Understood. So, Major, yeah. Stop. The paintings are not here, and here's the King-Rook swap. But the safe house painting, etc. So there was the safe house painting. There was the In Eclipse ballroom painting. And there was a third painting. No, it was the picture of Mary and Caleb and Philip White. Dead end, major key, XYZ ABC, seeing all the signs with the 10 dashes for the 10 pages, for the 10 signs, the metro thingy. Show the entire route. Show the entire route. Interesting. I don't think the entire route shows up in the final copy, though. I'll have to take a look at that, too. That's curious. Or is there perhaps something new was crossed out for do? Except for I don't think that change is made. Something overlooked but now in view. Have you really found it? Could it finally be true? If it's a new clue, you know what to do. So this line, I think, also got changed. So new became due. Due, an overdue library book? Something now in view. Okay, so platform 8 is route 8. Remove the sign from this final illustration. Yeah, that ended up moving to another page. Suspect is minor, suspect is major, suspect is minor. Typed, of course. Handwritten, of course. Typed, of course. And it's written in blue and red, and so she's got the red ink. Remind Randolph to set this up before we leave. Set what up? The suspect is A key. Oh, the admin key. And it wasn't A dot, it was A blank, 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 blank for admin key. A little too obvious. But it didn't have the diagram of the computers, so that was a little bit of a change. And that is it. So this is mostly clues I've already had, I feel like, but possibly some new information. So that's really interesting. While I'm here, can I think of anything else I need to do? Well, I'm going to have to review this entire video and make a comparison to the original book to see. The moon has a shadow. It's kind of odd. I mean, I guess it's kind of like an eclipsy moon all the time anyway. So, like, shadows are a thing. I don't know. Anything else denoted in verse? Oh, it's on this page because it's got the arrows going around saying it's an anagram, just like, okay, so it's another clue about anagramming that. So, yeah. I really do think that the investor needed makes me think of the pick sound amplifier, and I really think that that's being related to music is really, we're listening carefully for music somewhere. And then the third one is the spiral of stars does ever end, and I'm still trying to draft enough stars to fill out the entire message in the observatory. So I feel like I'm making progress in this. I need to figure out what the fork is. Something connected to 10. It was the 3 pieces of fruit, which add up to 10 steps. Is Tanner Fork just, let me take a look at that. Is that just stop number 10 on the Metro map? I think it might be. Tanner Fork is stop number 10, I believe. So I did not catch that hint. Under beds. Under beds. In the bunk room, under one of the beds, is the Simon to Herbert stole the airplane as a kid's book or whatever. Under beds could also mean flower beds. There's just a blue X. X marks the spot. Dig. Oh boy. I presume these numbers are the same. Every space is circled. And checked was written in bold here, or in all caps. But it was just with respect to the check marks that are here. And nobody, God only, nobody. I'll have to see what the actual book was. Dead herrings rhymes with red herrings. Suspect list added. Double check with Kirk about documents. Which documents? And why the medium gate? Did it not have the gates? It had gates and gates here on the chalkboard. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Pairs of clues, right. And then the cook and the maid. Why are these important? Cook is chef de camp. The maid, I think, is Bridget. And I don't know why those matter. A new clue. And then, yeah, this little squiggle. I don't really get anything out of it. Okay, that's a lot of information to process. Also, these round things, these days, in the rotunda where there's a push button, it has the same kind of thing, and there's at least one other place where there's... Oh, pedestal. It's kind of a pedestal, one might say. 8 letters on 8 pedestals, of which you'll only read 7, according to Alzara's prophecy. Also, have I noticed the diamonds on the outside of Drax's table over here before? I don't know that I have. But I can walk all the way around these, and even in between them. And let's look one more time quickly through red prints. Redundant cluing. We've got the squiggle here. We have a blue butterfly. And then a blue sky. Have I seen a butterfly anywhere? I don't think so. Okay, well that was a lot of unexpected information. But I've been kind of slowly working in that direction. Reviewing all my notes. Do I want to do anything with this run? Here's the dais I was mentioning in the rotunda, by the way. I happen to be traveling through the casino, so I guess we'll wager 100. Why not? And we lost. Oh well. Alright, well nothing noteworthy happened during that run, and I think it's time for me to call it a day. So I'm going to say that I hope as always that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more blueprints. For now, bye-bye.